What is good? What is good, everybody? It's your boy Cam. Honestly, the Dallas Wings are continuing to struggle right now. Now they have the worst record in the WNBA, which is they're now 1-9, and the Wings are just still trying to figure out the chemistry with the team. And I realized the Wings only have three players back from last year's roster, which is Arike Ungumbulali, Maddie Secrets, and Tia McCowan. But we actually have three players that are now out right now for the Wings. I forgot what her name was. She just came from Germany, and she's going to play for overseas for a little bit. And then Tierra McCowan is actually going overseas as well to play. And honestly, I don't blame her for wanting to go play overseas for a little bit because Chris Koklanis is not using her well. He wants to play small ball so much, and small ball is not working. I just I can't really blame the players for the loss. I really just blame the coach for the loss. And but I do understand the whole coaching staff is brand new. This is all their first year, so if we just keep losing more games, we might have to just fire Chris Koklanis. And I don't understand why the Wings fired Latricia Tramble last year, and I don't get it. And last year we didn't win a lot of games because we had a lot of girls hurt from last year. Natasha Howard got injured, Satu, Maddie Secrets got injured. Is his injuries were the problem for last year. And when she got her first year coaching, we made it past the first round. And I felt like she deserved to stay here. And I think she was a better coach than Chris was as of right now. But Chris needs to put Tierra McCown back in the lineup once she's back. And we struggle rebounding without her on the floor. And we gotta put her back in the lineup because his small ball is just not working in general. That's all I'm gonna say. But let's get into some details about Paige Beckers. Well, Paige Beckers was cleared from her concussion protocols. The bad news is that she was out with an illness past Sunday afternoon against the Minnesota Lynx, and she did not attend the games. There, she was nowhere on the sideline. But I think I've heard that Paige Beckers is actually supposed to be playing tomorrow night, and the Wings take on the Minnesota Lynx. Not Minnesota. They take on the Phoenix Mercury, which is we go against their former teammates. Is now that the Phoenix Mercury has Satu Sabali now and Kalani Brown, and I hate to see Kalani Brown go. And I felt like we should have not traded her as well, but I kind of get why we had to trade her because we had to have enough money to pay Paige Beckers, and we're kind of in a rebuild mode right now. And I hate to see her go. We were definitely loaded with bigs when we had Tierra McCown and Kalani Brown, and we were a better team with them on the court. And I hate to see Satu Sabali go, and especially, and it was really cool experience that she was the number 2 pick from 2020. And the craziest thing is, I already told y'all this, I got to actually meet Satu Sabali for the Dallas Wings Special Olympics unified game in 2023. And it was really cool talking to her. And I got to do the interview press conference with her because I won MVP my first year in the Dallas Wings unified game. Man, that was probably the best things that have ever happened to me in my life so far. Beating Satu Sabali. And what it was, and actually when I found out about the unified game, I didn't know about it till maybe a week before it happened. So I had to take off of work last minute just so I can go freaking play and meet the players. And so when I got there, they took us to the locker room, and then once I saw her face come in the locker room, I was like, oh my gosh, no way. I was like, you're the one that was from the number 2 pick from 2020. I remembered her last name, but I just forgot her first name. And of course, the interviewer asked me, what was your best part about the unified game, playing it for the first time. I told her me and Enrique, and and then I say her, and of course, I mean, I met Satu. I mean, of course, I mean, I felt bad that I left Satu out. Again, I recognized her face. I've seen you play. I just forgot your first name, but I remembered your last name. But oh man, just yeah, about Satu also. Like she had a lot of injuries for the past couple years playing in Dallas, and she requested a trade in the off season, and she had some issues with the front office for the Dallas Wings, and I hate had to see her go, but I hope she just stays healthy playing in Phoenix, and she just stays healthy the rest of the career. And Satu, actually, I believe she had, I think she had a hand or shoulder surgery in the off season before she played her last year playing in Dallas, and I just hate to have to see her go. And she was definitely a good player around Enrique. Her and Enrique played real well together. They played real well. But only thing is, we just need another point guard to play along with Enrique. We ain't had that for a while, but now the good news is we got Paige Beckers playing around, and I think they're playing pretty okay, doing okay playing together. But again, it's gonna take time. It's not gonna happen overnight. I expect our second season with the team, with this roster, be different going to next year. Will be better. And I believe this Dallas Wings team will be good in the future. We're just very, very young right now. The coaching staff is brand new. We got a new GM, but we still got the same owner. So, yep, it's just very cool experience meeting Satu. And now I get to tell everybody I've met a couple of former WNBA. I've met some WNBA players. And I actually met Kalani Brown as well. Yep, real cool experience meeting her as well. And we also traded Steph G. Uzun, who's from Turkey. She was just cut from the team, I believe, 2 weeks ago, and I also got to meet her as well, which was really, really cool. But I just hate to see her get cut like that, and I do wish the best for Steph G. Uzun. And so let's just talk about the game from the Minnesota Lynx. The only two players that were in double figures was Enrique Ungubuali and Maddie Secrets. And then Sunday was actually Maddie Secrets' first double-double of her entire career. And I'm happy for her. And Maddie Secrets is getting better each game she's been playing in. And I'm definitely love to see her get better even more. And of course, I met Maddie Secrets as well. And I met the whole entire Dallas Wings team at the Special Olympics Unified game my first year. It was just really cool experience meeting Maddie Secrets as well. And of course, meeting Enrique was probably the best thing I've probably done too as well. And Enrique has been on and off, but she played a hell of a game that Sunday afternoon. She had 20 points in the first half. She made, I believe, 4 or 5 threes in that first half. But the Minnesota Lynx held her to 6 points in that second half. And the Minnesota Lynx held us to 9 points in that fourth quarter. What I think what really the Wings struggled with that Sunday afternoon, they was constantly turning the ball over. They just don't take care of the ball real well. And hopefully tomorrow night against the Phoenix Mercury, they will take care of the ball better against the Phoenix Mercury. And they're actually doing pretty good right now. The Phoenix Mercury are actually not too bad right now. But we just got to start winning some more games. If we start winning more games, I think we'll be all right. And I'll be honestly be okay if we miss the playoffs this year. We'll get maybe get another top 5 pick going to next year just to build around Enrique and Paige. And then if we get another good top 5 draft pick, we start Paige and Enrique in that top 5 pick in the future. We'll start growing together. It's just how I see it. But everybody else was just in single digits. Everybody just had a rough game, but again, shit happens. It's just bounce back and move on to the next game. And I just hate to see Ty Harris had a knee injury and she's out for the rest of the freaking year. That is a huge blow to the freaking Dallas Wings this year. And Ty Harris was a pretty good player to come off the bench. But everybody else got to step up, man. That's just how it has to be. Everybody got to step up. And I still got faith in this Dallas Wings team. And I could be going to the Wings game next Tuesday night against the Golden State Valkyries, but we'll see. And I was actually planning on trying to go to the game when they played the Indiana Fever at the American Airlines Center, but can't afford those tickets, man. Tickets are very pricey. I was supposed to go to a friend of mine, but them tickets are just so freaking expensive. But Caitlin Clark is actually close to returning back in the lineup, and I just hate she had to have a quad injury, and no one deserves to be injured for that long. Nobody deserves that in the WNBA. And I don't understand why sometimes fans gotta cheer for another player from another opposing team getting injured. That shit ain't cool, bro. That's not cool. That could be one of your own best players getting hurt like that. They could be gone for a long time. It's like, show respect. You gotta show respect, man. And the fans though who are making racial slurs towards Angel Reese, y'all cut that shit out. That shit ain't cool. I'm not a big Angel Reese fan, but personally, I can't stand her either. But she does have anger problems. I don't know. I just wish people would stop comparing Caitlin Clark and the Angel Reese thing. It's just I'm about tired of it. But again, I mean, Angel Reese is a good rebound player, but she obviously just struggles. She always struggling to, with these offensive rebounds, scoring those baskets. I don't. It's just. But again, Angel's a good rebounder, and they also had an injury as well, and I believe her name was Courtney Witherspoon, and she tore her ACL, and now she's gone for the rest of the year. Like I said, I hate to have to hear any player in the WA just go down with an injury like that. I hate to see that happen. I hate to see that happen to anybody. That's just I don't understand why injuries happen like this, but it's part of the game. That's just how it is. But and the Wings just got a pretty tough schedule going into this Friday night as well. This Friday night, they take on the Las Vegas Aces, and they play in Las Vegas. And we have our rematch from the preseason earlier in the year. But and there's nothing you can do to stop A'ja Wilson. And she's that's a 3-time MVP, and she's a hell of a player. And A'ja Wilson is awesome. I respect her game so much. And I had no clue she was the number 1 pick from the 2018 WNBA draft. But I can see why, though. But I believe it, though. She was the number 1 pick. But we just got to focus on the Phoenix Mercury tomorrow. We just go from there. We just going to take one game at a time this season. Now, with the other news that's going on around the NBA. So, the Thunder actually tied the series with the Indiana Pacers, and now Game 3 is headed to Indiana. And I predict Indiana to win Game 3 just because they're back home. Then after that, I think Oklahoma State will start winning, and they'll win the championship this year. And the Thunder obviously learned from Game 1. They had like a 16-point lead in the fourth quarter, and they just blew it, and they ended up losing the game. But Indiana Pacers are a great comeback team. They've been coming back so much this playoffs. Give credit to Rick Carlisle. And I like how he keeps them in the game and his coaching. It's just kind of like how the Mavericks were in 2011 NBA Finals. They were down like against the Miami Heat by 15 in the fourth quarter with 7 minutes left and tied the series. And then, of course, they was down 15 against the Thunder. And Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals came back and beat them in overtime. The Mavericks were down 16 against the Lakers that year. And came back and won game one and swept them that year, which was crazy. But and what did Indiana do? And they were down 17 against New York in the fourth quarter. Came back and won in overtime. It's just Carlisle just knows how to get these players back in the game, and he's a hell of a coach. And I respect Carlisle, and I'm still a fan of Rick Carlisle. I hate that he had to leave us, but obviously Luka wanted him out of here, which is I don't understand. I think Luka didn't like being told to quit pouting so much, or he didn't like Rick Carlisle's toughness. But it was also, and also want to talk about Jason Kidd. They're still talking about the Mavericks may decline the Knicks to interview him. I don't think Jason Kidd should leave. I think he should stay, especially now the Mavericks are about to have draft Cooper Flagg, and the Mavericks actually met with Cooper Flagg in person with a private meeting, and I can't wait to see Cooper Flagg in the Mavericks uniform, especially when the Mavericks have their summer league games starting next month, and it's going to be a packed house. A lot of Mavericks fans in Vegas just to see Cooper Flagg play, and it's going to be a very fun year. But Cooper Flagg is not Luka. It's just I wish the Mavericks fans will stop saying that he's going to replace Luka or It's just again. I still think the NBA's rigged after we traded Luka away in the middle of the season and we end up getting the number one pick. It's just like, wow. But again, I'll take Cooper Flagg at the end of the day. But he's a better defender, and Cooper Flagg can just pretty much do everything. But I do believe that he'll fit around well with Kyrie once he's come back, Anthony Davis and Derek Lively. And they did talk about them. They wanted to keep PJ Washington and Gafford, but I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens. But I just hope Nico makes the right moves in this off season, and hopefully we have a better year going to next year, and hopefully he hires the right training staff. The way hopefully we don't see this many injuries ever again, especially going to next season if we want to get a championship. But that concludes my podcast for today. I will see you on the next one, and hopefully the Dallas Wings will win tomorrow.